Tim's workshop. We got what I think is a 1948 TD 20 Johnson outboard. I've read up on a little bit, and TD 20s are 5 horse, and then if it has different lettering at the beginning, it'll tell you what horsepower it is, like 2, 3, 5, 10, whatever. I don't know what it is, so we're gonna dig into it, see if we can find some serial numbers, take the cowling off, the hood off here, and you know, get into it and take a look. So if you're new here to the channel, please subscribe, leave comments, hit the notification bell off to the right there to get all my notification of videos. If you like, give me a like and let your friends and family know about my videos too. Also, over to the right you'll see like a upside down arrow. Click on that and it'll take you to the description of the video. It'll tell a brief description of what the video is about. But down below it I have my disclaimer, my email, all that information for you. So check it out. So let's get into this. Well, there's some screws up here. Let's take these off. Pull the top off. I noticed too when I pulled on this, this must be the original cord. It looks pretty rough. Yeah, we need to replace that. Oh boy. And it's retracting very, very slow. Yeah, nobody's done anything with this thing that looks like, so we got some opportunity here. This is your high speed. You can lean it out or make it rich by turning this knob. But it's also your primer to prime the motor. And this is the fill, the tank, and your breather that you open up so it breathes. Oh yeah, that comes right off, doesn't it? It needs to be worked on. So that's one of the first things we'll do. Okay, now we gotta get this off. So let's see here. Got a screw here. Kind of looks like they're all the same length. This stuff definitely needs to be greased up, that's for sure. Yeah, this one is a little bit different. Piece of metal on the end of it for some reason. Huh. Alright. By the way, if you want to reverse the engine, this is how you do it. Now you got reverse. Yeah. Oh, this screw's a little looser than the other one. Alright. Pretty strange. There's another screw in the front here. So let's turn this around. There's 2 screws, one on each side. Alright. Well, this is a cowling. A lower cowling. Oh, I see. These 2 in the back have slots that you can just, oh, somebody did some modifications there for whatever reason. Huh. Alright. I still don't have the top off yet, though. Oh, I see. This gets bolted on. Well, we'll start undoing the bolts to get the fuel tank and everything off. Alright, well, we can see this number here. So it says right here, it says TD20. So it is a TD20. It's a 2-cylinder. And I don't know if you can see it, but these spark plugs are really super old. I don't know if anything's been done to this ever. It has the nut screw-on type spark plugs, which can be changed to conventional, you know, spark plug boots. These spark plug cables look like the original. I mean, they're cracking, you know, you're going to have spark escaping out of these all over the place, the way these things are cracked. It's pretty interesting, though. It's like nobody's ever touched this thing. So this is cool. We can, this is a perfect restore, will it run type thing. They're champions, it looks like. Huh. Champion spark plugs. So the serial number is 609908. We'll look that up. That should tell us what year it is, maybe. Unless there's some other kind of identification on here. To take a look around, see what we get. So that's the first thing we're going to do is we're just kind of looking at it, seeing what it looks like, and getting the serial number off of it, making sure it's a TD20, which it is. To get this top piece off, there's 4 bolts that bolt it on, but there's also, so right here, there's a primer. Has a rod that comes down that connects to this, and this primer's the carburetor here. It also enriches it and leans it out, so this is the high speed right here. So in order to get that off, it has this piece here that goes on there like this, and it hooks into that enrichment deal, and then you put the nut on there. So I had to take that off and the nut to get this fuel tank off. This thing's hanging out, so you can't pull this up through here with this hanging out. So you unscrew this, okay, to get the fuel line. So there was only a couple things to take apart to get this off, other than the 4 bolts that held it on. So we got that. This handle, it says Johnson on it. It's got some duct tape on it. Now, I'm not sure why it has the duct tape on there. We'll find out. Hopefully the whole handle's okay. It's just loose, and so the guy put the duct tape on there to keep it from falling off, maybe. That's one possibility. I don't know. We'll check it out. Oh, another thing, too. This doesn't look too good right here. Yeah. All this needs to be taken apart, pull the lower unit off, get in there and see what we got, you know. It's not froze up at all. The engine pulls over and this spins, so, and it's spinning in gear. There is no shift lever on this thing. It's, when you pull this thing and start it, this prop is actually moving. As far as I see, direct drive. So you don't want to have it on fast speed when you fire this thing up. You want to have it on start position, which has a lower idle. And like I say, you just turn the motor around for your reverse. So pretty simple, simple motor. But I believe it's a 5-horse, so that's what we're going to find out with the serial number. See what we have here. Back at it here on the Johnson TD 120. The first look, we've gone through it. We figured out it's a 1946 TD 20. It could be a 47. I'm not sure. We got online and it's nothing really breaking down the serial numbers that I found yet. TD20s on the service manual calls out for 1946, 1947, and 1948. 49, it changed on 1949, but basically, from what I was reading, all these T model series were pretty much the same. There's a TN that has an actual neutral lever. In other words, instead of starting this thing up in direct drive and turning it backwards for reverse, you have an option on the TN models, flipping that lever and it'll put it in neutral, which is just cool. But these are so low torque. You know, you have the lever down at start position or even slower, that prop doesn't move all that fast, so you're basically not really moving, you know, until you actually kick this thing up and get it up to fast speed, and then you can really get going with it. So we've kind of gone through it here, looking at things. This spark plugs, of course. So the first look, we just kind of went through it to see what we need to do to get it running. A lot of that we won't know until we try to start it. So the first thing is the starter. Okay, this thing here is pulls out, but it doesn't really wind back in very well. Need to take this thing apart, get this thing so it's winding up better. It's just gunked up, basically. All this old grease, it's petrified. it's on there really good. You know, I'm sure the spring's in good shape. This cable, apparently, I saw somebody else take the sleeving. This is like, it looks like rope, but I saw a guy that took this sleeving off, and it was actually a cable, a metal cable underneath the sleeving. He took it off. Well, this is aluminum, right? Well, if you take the sleeving off and start winding it back and forth in aluminum, it's going to saw it like a file. So that's why they put the sleeving on here, so it wouldn't, you know, tear the thing up. So a rope, apparently they didn't feel that the rope was strong enough or whatever. So, which I could just put a rope back on here. But I want to try to keep it as original as possible, so if I can get this thing to work with the cable that's on here and these frayed areas, put something on it so it doesn't get any worse, and then go from there. So that'll be the first thing we fix on this, will be the starter. If we're going to start it, we need that. And the plugs, we'll clean the plugs. The cables really need to be changed on this, but I'm not going to change them right away. I just want to make sure it starts. If we have a spark issue, of course, we'll pull the flywheel off and get into the magneto part of it. The lower end, I'm not really worried about it yet. If we have a problem with it not peeing properly, then we'll worry about that. I figured out by watching other videos where it's supposed to pee out at. So see this tube right here? Okay, right here is where it pees out of. As far as I saw in one video, right out this elbow. There must be a hole over here somewhere. Or on the bottom? I don't know. So we'll have to check that out. Oh, another thing I found is a parts catalog. So I got that downloaded, and it's specifically for the TD20 models. It has all your information in here for your specifications for just the TD20 motor. Shows your power head and all that. This is the fuel tank, and it shows the pull cord. It shows all this information here, so it's pretty good. The power head and everything. Spark plugs. All the original stuff. And it tells you all these little numbers, goes down for here further, and it shows you what each one of these items is called. So that's handy to know the correct terminology on these parts. It shows your lower unit, your drive shaft, all your parts, your prop, everything. The spring on this for your starter shows this part right there. Shows the pull cord again. Shows the dog ears. Pretty cool. Well, this might be actually the spark plug wires. I don't know. No, that's a pull cord. This is the pull cord handle and the retainer. Hopefully you can see that. Pull cord handle, and the retainer. So I thought I'd share that with you. All the carburetor parts, all the numbers, and then it'll tell you what each one of these items are. So if you want to get a part for it, if you can find one, at least you'll know what you'll be asking for. Doing cross-reference too. You know, you might be able to get parts that'll work on here. There's the spark plug wires. You can look that up. The magneto, the parts for it. So yeah, it's all on there, and it's not that long. That's it. That's all the parts on your motor for the TD20. So between the parts catalog and the service manual that I have downloaded on my phone here, I got everything I need for this. Okay, so that's going to wrap up the first look of the Johnson Seahorse TD20 outboard motor, 5-horse. We went through it pretty good. There were some other interesting things I found out just by reading on the forums and different history of these motors. One thing about these motors is you notice that the color, some have this sea green and some are just silver, right? Well, the silver ones were actually kind of like the antique buses that you see. The all silver buses, they called them silver sides. A lot of those buses were pre-war, World War II. Well, the same with these old outboards, the silver ones, because of the lack of paint, I guess, or whatever, supplies during the war, they just left them aluminum, didn't paint them. So that's why the years before 1946, which they started making these TD20s, they were silver. There was also a motor called P.O. Johnson motors, and instead of shaped like a teardrop, you know, like these, they were rectangle. They were silver as well. Well, those motors were used in the war, going up rivers, pulling cargo. Cargo motors? I don't know. I'll have to research that a little bit more, but I thought that was interesting. I wanted to share that with you. Yeah, these motors got a lot of history, you know, so it's interesting in reading about them. Wow, the different models they had on these things. There was a lot of them. You know, if you were going to collect outboard motors and you wanted a collection of all the different Johnsons, you need a big building for it. Yeah, especially if you were doing Johnsons, and Evinrudes, and Mercuries. Yeah, it would be like a Costco with all the different models they made. I'm all done with this video. Got more coming. We're going to start getting into part 1, part 2, you know, will it run, you know, anything we come across, we'll make a video on how to cross that bridge. The end goal will be to get this thing running. And then down the road, after we get it running, we'll get into the restore. But before I do that, of course, I got to get the Mercury Mark 10 redone, and I'm getting close to that. I'm just waiting for the weather to warm up a little bit more, and I will be power washing all the parts. I'm going to get some paint, original paint, not just, you know, paint like I did the Yamaha. I just went down to the auto parts store and grabbed some paint, but I'm going to do some original paint. The one website, Vintage Outboard website, they sell the original paint colors, so I will be doing that before I do a total restore on this one. So if you like the video, you're new to the channel, please subscribe, leave comments, hit the notification bell to get notification of my latest videos. Share the video with your friends and family, and give me a like. Okay? So until next time, we'll see you later.